Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alpha Beta Gold Games, Episode 2, where we get together to talk about exactly what the title of this show says, which is none other than video games. I'm Camryn James, and with me, as always, is just Matt.
Hey, what's up?
Here we are again, Episode 2. Excited.
Yep.
Looking forward to it. Pretty much just let everybody know is our daily update on The Last of Us 2. I've rolled credits. I'm done.
I definitely haven't. So, I mean, I'm a couple hours in. I can say that I'm definitely enjoying it, but I'm not done. And everybody that I know is starting to text me now, being like, "Yeah, I finished it. How far in are you?" And I'm just saying to them, "Just please don't. Shh. I'm working on it. I'll get there."
I don't think I texted you that. I was like, "No, this dude's definitely not even close to."
No, you were just like, "Yeah." You just said, "Hey, I beat it," and that was it. And yeah, that was fine. But,
you're still playing ease, so I figured you ain't getting around.
Yeah, and that's the grind on that is just so real. It's a good way to just kind of shut my brain off, and then when I want to be really mentally involved in something, I go to The Last of Us. So, and just a quick thought, I think it'd actually be fun. We should, when we do the Last of Us spoiler cast, we should totally invite Alex onto it because he's been bugging me about my thoughts on it. So I think he'd be the perfect, good guest to have on that spoiler cast.
I also have a buddy named Jason. He works for Ecolab, and he's playing it right now too. And I told him the same thing. I was trying to get Sean on, but I think Sean's gonna be dragging a little hard on it. He was gonna host the spoiler cast, but I don't think he wants to get it spoiled.
No. If anybody who's going to be on that needs to have played it and played it completely. I don't want to do that to anybody, you know?
Yeah, it wouldn't be very fair. Because now my thing is like, all right, what do I play next? So I go back to, do I finish Rage 2? Do I go and do I finally dip into Greedfall? Do I just take a break from games for the next week?
No, you should totally go back to
Rage
just
2.
go back to Rage, because I think if you start Greedfall right now, you're not gonna finish it before Ghost of Tsushima comes out. You got a couple weeks, and then that's gonna come out. You know you're gonna want to play that. So I think you're better off just sticking with Rage, keeping it simple.
A part of me said to myself, because I was talking to Steph about it, and she was like, "What are you gonna play now?" I was like, maybe I'll replay it. Maybe I'll just go back and try to platinum Last of Us 2.
You can. I mean, compared to the first time,
screw that.
There's no difficulty related trophy, so it's not, as if you have to beat it on the hardest possible difficulty. You just have to I think you just have to collect everything. You got to collect all the sheets of paper, open all the safes, get all the tool benches and shit. So it's totally manageable. I think a lot of people are shooting for it because it's it's attainable.
The only thing I don't like about trophies that include like missable stuff, like if you miss one letter, you're not going back in that game. It's over.
That's why you have to that's why it's better to just play the game once and then start it again, and then just have your phone or your tablet up with just a list of itemizing everything in each chapter, and then just go down the list and do it that way.
Or am I just, like I said, I've also said to myself, maybe I'll wait till the PS5 comes out, because again, my thing sounds real loud, my PlayStation Pro. I know I got to clean it. I get it one day. My thing was, I was like, you know what? If I try to clean this now, and if I mess it up, and if I break my PlayStation for some reason, and I'm in the middle of Last of Us 2, I'm gonna be pissed.
You won't. When you take just because I know I sent you that video, when you're taking the top cover off, it's really not hard. It's like at first you feel like you're going to break it, and then after that it just comes off, and then you just spray on the fan in there and you're good to go. That's pretty much it.
I don't think it's that dirty, to be honest with you. I think I just have, like you said last week, I think I just have the older PlayStation Pro. I just think it is what it is. I mean, again, Rage is really loud on it. I don't think Greedfall will be really loud on it. Do I think Ghost of Tsushima will be pretty loud on it?
Maybe.
I don't know. It seems like a slower paced game and less cutscenes and all that stuff than The Last of Us 2 is. But
even slower pace still, though, there's going to be just the environment, everything going on around you, wind blowing, animals. Yeah, like when he's riding on a horse through the grass or whatever it is, and they're just all swaying in the wind. It's I don't know. I feel like it could heat up, but it's no big deal. The noise doesn't bother me, and if it does, just put your headset on. Highest volume, and you're good to go.
I got problems with my Sony Platinum headphones, the wireless ones. There's some weird interference from the receiver to the headphones. I think it's my cell phone. I don't know what it is. I've read about it. Sometimes it's a cell phone where the light just keeps flickering. I can hardly reset it. I know, but right now I've been using these crappy Bose. But the only thing that sucks is like this is the volume of whatever the controller thinks it is. and it's loud.
Oh yeah, definitely loud at times.
It is,
blow your eardrums out.
Yeah,
well,
so
better than nothing. So whatever.
But once again, this is Why Am I Nerd presents Alpha Beta Gold Games, where you can follow us on Instagram at Why Am I Nerd Official, Facebook.com/Why Am I Nerd, and listen to new episodes every Tuesday on your favorite podcast service, or catch new episodes on YouTube every Monday at 12 p.m. at youtube.com/a bunch of weird symbols, because we are still working on getting verified with that. But real fast, our quick takes of the day. Matt, this kind of surprised me.
Yeah. What?
The last was part 2, beats Spider-Man as fastest selling PS exclusive ever.
Can't say that I'm surprised by that. Listen, as much as I liked Spider-Man and as good as that game was, I think people were more excited and have been hype training the shit out of this game for a really long time. So.
I guess my surprise came in the sense of, Spider-Man I think was teen, maybe even it wasn't, this game was obviously could have probably get adult content if they really wanted to. It could have gotten an adult rating. But I don't know, I felt like with Spider-Man is more, globally known. Everybody knows Spider-Man, again. And I was a little surprised. I didn't think that this game, I knew this game was going to sell really well, but I didn't think it was going to sell better than Spider-Man by any means.
I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. You think about games, the rating really, I guess you maybe are using the mentality of, movie rating systems where movies that are rated R might not always perform well as T because of the audience. Cause with games, it's like kids can still, kids' parents will still buy them GTA and stuff like that. So if they want to play an M-rated game and they want it bad enough and their parents are cool with it, they'll get it. So. Yeah,
my parents bought me GTA 3 whenever that came out.
Me too.
I think I was in 8th grade, whatever the hell it was.
I was the same way, man. And I just, because it was a video game. No one thought we were going to be doing terrible shit after playing it. So. And
the guy at GameStop, I remember, was trying to convince my mom, you shouldn't, this game has violence. There's nudity and all that stuff. My mom's like, yeah, it's all right. He understands it's fake. And me and my buddy at the time, his name was Reed. We were like, yo, we got this. We go home in the studio. We're like, whoa.
Yeah, totally mind blowing.
What is this? I think too, what probably helps them as well is, kids get their parents' credit card on the PlayStation and they just charge it, and the parent probably has no idea what they're looking at, just because I think it just shows up on the credit card as PlayStation Store. I'm sure the parents not going up.
Well, maybe on the PlayStation Store, but they gotta. Well, then I guess that because you got to put in your own email. So when I what was it? I pre-ordered something the other day, I think, or maybe I just bought something randomly, and it comes to you get a receipt to your email, and it specifically tells you exactly what you bought and how much it costs. So on the credit card, it might just be general, but you will get a legitimate receipt that says this is what you purchased. So.
But, I mean, everyone has an email nowadays, so the kid probably just puts it in this.
Well, that's why it just pops in their own email and they're good to go. Yeah, that's why. I don't know, man. It's I'm okay with hearing it. I think the game is great. I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding it. Some people really don't like it. Some people have even said that Naughty Dog ruined this IP with this game, but I feel, we can talk about that, more in depth. Yeah. In a couple weeks. I'm hoping to maybe be done. It won't be this weekend coming up. That's the holiday weekend, maybe after.
Okay.
I was hoping for a 3-day weekend, but apparently I have to work on July 3rd. So, that sucks, but
everything's getting back to normal. So I guess they're going to be doing
I know.
That.
Yeah, I know. So I was hoping to get an extra day of gaming, but can't win them all.
Yeah. But our next quick take, which this one definitely came out of the blue for me. I literally read this probably 3 hours ago. Right now it's Saturday, 2/27.
This is what I'm waiting to hear. I'm excited to be shocked.
Dying Light Hellraid DLC based on the unreleased game is coming out July 23rd.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I saw this morning briefly. I woke up, and I get up and I'm having my coffee. I saw that article. I just saw the thumbnail on IGN and said, huh? And then just kept scrolling because I couldn't care any less, but it sounds so bizarre. I think they're trying to do Doom or something.
No. So this one I have this article. I pulled this from GameSpot. Pretty much it's in the medieval times and you're fighting demon zombies or demon. I don't really. Hellraid is accessed through an eerie arcade machine within the tower in Dying Light. You're sent directly to hell after using the machine to battle against demons using axes, hammers, swords, and other medieval weapons.
I think they're just looking
It's
for something to
$10.
do. Yeah, I think they're trying to give people something to do so they don't forget that Dying Light 2 is still a thing.
Oh, come on. That's like saying
Maybe.
that's like saying Dead Island. I guess 2, I guess 3.
What are you talking about? A Dead Island? What is that?
Yeah. Hey, look, for $10, if I got nothing to play, maybe I'll suck up and buy it.
Maybe that's your thing then. I mean,
I'll take the plunge on this one and see what the hell is going on with that. I mean,
I don't know, man. You took the plunge on Rage, and that seems to be sort of okay. And you're taking the guinea pig hit on Greedfall, so you'll let me know.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, after those 2 games, and I guess after this, if I suck up and do this one, I mean, like I said, you have Ghost of Tsushima, and then you have Paper Mario. And
hopefully Paper Mario. Yeah, hoping on Paper Mario might end up sucking, so I got to wait for the reviews on that one.
Oh, you're gonna wait it out?
Maybe. I mean, it really all depends. The one thing I'm sort of really hesitant about is making sure that the combat system doesn't suck, because the last one that I played, which would have been Sticker Star on the 3DS, so that was 2 games, I guess, have come out since then, or 1. Combat system sucked. It made it so that you didn't even want to do anything. You know, you have a game that's kind of got RPG elements, but the only way you can attack in Sticker Star is if you have stickers that are, you know, for using your hammer or jumping on them. And then if you don't have stickers, you can't attack and you don't level up. So if you have stickers, you want to save them for boss fights and you don't want to fight regular battles because there's no point. So
that's kind of
it totally sucked the fun out of it. So hopefully the combat system is different and it goes back to more like an RPG like the other ones, and then I'll get it. But at the very least, it looks like a good Paper Mario game visually. It's got that same, you know, cute sense of humor. So I like it, but I'm not 100% sold yet.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of rumors too about this Nintendo Super Mario, remake type stuff that they're doing, where they're supposed to put a bundle together of like Super Mario 64,
that would be cool.
Mario 3, Super Mario World. I mean, I don't know. Is it necessary? What are you going to do? Just reskin it?
No, I feel like the one kind of collection I would maybe want on the Switch at this point, they should just do. They already remastered it, and then the other one they would need to, but would be, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. Just slap them into a collection and put that on the Switch. I think a lot of people would definitely buy into that, or just sell them separately, whatever you want to do. But I like it. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Go and talk about Zelda real quick. Like that. That's just like a series that never really caught me. I like more like the isometric, 2D versions of it, like Link's Awakening or Link to the Past, or even the one for the 3DS. I forget what the hell the name of that one was.
Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, that was really good. But I'll be honest. Like, Zelda, Legend of Zelda, the fucking I'm drawing a blank. The one for Switch.
Link's Awakening, the new one.
Yeah.
The remake? Yeah.
No, the one for Switch.
Adorable.
No. Link's Awakening. I ran through that one.
Breath of the Wild.
Wow, I can't believe I forgot about that.
I was like, wow, dude, you've had a long day.
Dude, it's been a long. I've been up since 5:30. But I played that game for probably like 5 hours. I was like, I'm out. Not for me.
Yeah.
Couldn't get.
Yeah, I didn't. I would not what I would call a Camryn game. So
no, absolutely not. And I have big pet peeves when my weapon breaks. I found this cool ass sword. Now it's gonna break in 20 swings. I don't know. I know some people have put hours and hours and hours upon that game, obviously, and everyone, some people swear by it.
Yeah, I loved it, but I also love Zelda games. Pretty, I don't think there's really been any Zeldas that I've said this was terrible. So,
yeah, I looked at getting Wind Waker again for the GameCube that we have in the other room, but
that'd be cool.
I just haven't had the time to get through it. But anyway, moving on, we have our weekly news recaps. Now, Matt, we have coming in first.
Yep.
Ghost of Tsushima has gone gold.
I'm so excited. I love whenever I hear that a game any one of us is excited about goes gold, because then there's no way they can delay it again. It's officially done. They're starting to print it on their discs, and it will arrive at its intended date, barring any more COVID shutdowns. We'll have it within a month. But also, I mean, theoretically, as long as they were to keep up to it, we could still get it, even if things are closed down, because I do digital. So
do I.
But it's big news. Big news. I'm so happy. I cannot wait to play that game. And it's so weird that I feel like it's further away, but it's not. It's 3 weeks.
It was like The Last of Us. I felt like The Last of Us was months, years away, and then it just came out of nowhere, and it was like, all right, last Friday, here it is, and I was like, all right, here we go. And
100% time.
I definitely think Ghost though is going to bring a different mentality than obviously The Last of Us 2 did. It'll be interesting to see how much. I think you could arguably say that there's going to be a lot of comparisons to Assassin's Creed probably with this, and people are probably going to be like, oh, they just made an Assassin's Creed Samurai game. But I don't know, Sucker Punch does really good work, so
that's why. I mean, I loved Infamous Second Son was great. I enjoyed all the Infamous games. But I mean, you can draw whatever kind of comparisons you want. I mean, it's kind of this sort of style of game, I guess, in just terms of, feudal Japan has been done before. I would compare it more to like a Tenchu game from back like in the original PlayStation 1, but you
think,
I'm excited.
I don't know. I think this is definitely a step above that, obviously.
Well, clearly, yes. There's more involved into it, but in terms of the stealth aspect, when they say you can be just a warrior and running around, and I mean, I know you have to take care when you're fighting. You can't just walk in like Rambo and just take everybody out. But I like the idea that they give you the option to do the stealth and be a ghost, because I love that kind of shit when I play Dishonored and Thief or Assassin's Creed. I do like that, but Assassin's Creed got its inspiration from games prior to it, back on the PlayStation 1. Everybody gets, their from games that already exist. So you can draw your comparisons, but I just from looking at it, I don't look at it as an Assassin's Creed game.
Well, where do you
really truly that style?
Where do you think Assassin's Creed pulled its inspiration from PS1? Metal Gear?
Well, that's why. I mean, Metal Gear for stealth action. Yeah. Metal Gear, Tenchu had that stealth, you're trying to move around. I mean, a lot of games would have drawn their inspiration from Metal Gear because that was the first game that had ever done any kind of stealth action. I mean, it was in the title too. I think, like the little subtitle, it's like Metal Gear Solid, like stealth espionage action. Like that was the whole point of that game, was just being sneaky. So, I mean, that's just a small, I guess, aspect of what Assassin's Creed is, but there's just so much that goes on in that universe now. Like apart from just recreating parts of history, I feel like they don't really know what they're doing in terms of their big story, because those games had a weird story, early on, and then I think they just sort of got rid of most of that.
In Metal Gear?
No, in Assassin's Creed. They were following. Yeah, they kind of, maybe they're still going to it because there's still that weird pre-civilization shit going on from time to time, but they're not. I don't know if they're following that same story still from the first few games.
I don't think so. I mean, I had replayed Black Flag maybe about a month ago. I just picked up and played it, and again, those games, when they bring it out of the animus into the real world, it's just like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't care. Like, and with Black Flag, they tried so hard to make that. I think they tried pretty hard to make the outside real world, not in the animus thing, like actually matter. You're like, oh, you're trying to steal whatever document it was at the time. Dude, I was like, I don't give a fuck.
That's why. Like, just give me parts of history and tell me a story in that time period. I'm good. Because they didn't do anything.
Yeah, they did pretty good with not doing that in Origins and Odyssey. I didn't get that far in Odyssey. I didn't really. Again, it wasn't really.
Odyssey gets weird. I never got around to it. I feel like I just need to, because I'm never going to play it. I don't think at this point. I would probably just watch someone playing it on YouTube or just watch the cutscenes. But I know that you go to Atlantis. I mean, you do that as part of the main game. You visit Atlantis, and there was the city. But it goes back to that ancient pre-civilization stuff that they used to have. But then I don't know if they're still going for the angle with Desmond and trying to save the world in present day, which was 2012 at the time. I don't know how, if they're going to continue that in Valhalla, but whatever.
I don't think Desmond's not even in it anymore.
No, he spoiler alert, he's dead.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's
at this point. No, whatever. I think he's been dead at this point for 10 years. I think in that was what, Assassin's Creed 3 or Revelations. Yeah, he dies in 3. Out. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Sorry, I don't give a fuck. That's not a spoiler that I care about. Yeah, Last of Us, I'll keep my mouth shut super tight, but
I would agree with you on that. So what do you think in the gameplay time on Ghost of Tsushima is gonna clock in at? Think it's gonna be like a nice 40-hour game? You think it's gonna be like a big chunk? 100 hours?
No, I mean, I think it could probably be. I've heard with just because it's a good focus point is Last of Us. Some people are saying it took them like 20 hours to beat. Some people are saying it took them like close to 40 because they took their time. I mean, this has a bit of an open world to it in Ghost of Tsushima. So I feel like it's, I don't know, I think good 35 hours might be right around the good amount of time for that. Not even just the story, but to maybe get some extra shit done. I don't need it to be like 60 hours. That might be too much, you know.
I agree. I think sometimes games just overstay their welcome. And
yeah,
I get it. Like there's some people that go out and try to get every collectible and try to do every side mission. I've said it before to multiple people, and I said it last week. Like, yeah, like you do that. Like I don't. I'm an easy guy. I play on easy. Yeah. I'll play on baby ass mode if I have to. And I play games for the stories. I like the stories. Like to me, besides Neo 2, which I still fuck you for that.
Still butthurt about that.
I am, other than that, I'm not one to go in and try to get myself stressed out. My real job's stressful enough that I don't need to go in come home and try to smash controllers.
Yeah.
So I guess my last question on Ghost before we move on is what are you gonna score it at? Because looking at
what do you mean? How can I score it? Yeah. How can I score it so far?
What do you estimate it? I'm looking at Sucker Punch's last couple of games. You got the infamous one was 86 on or 85 on Metacritic. Infamous 2 was 83. Infamous Second Son was 80. First Light was 73. They're kind of going the opposite direction.
That's why. No, I'd say you're probably looking at. I would say probably a solid 8. Yeah, really? I would say that's the most comfortable. Yeah, I would say a solid 8 at the very least. I don't know if this is going to be one of those games where it's going to get perfect marks from people, and that's not to be shit talky. It's just I don't know. It's whenever a new IP comes out, everybody's always not sure how it's going to work out. So I mean, if the reviews come out and everybody says, "Holy shit, this is 9 or 10 or whatever," that's going to be crazy. It's going to compel even more people to get it. But I don't. I think an 8's probably.
I mean, I was really surprised that Neo got a 9.
Yeah, Neo 2 wasn't as good as the first one.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. But moving on to our next weekly roundup, we pretty much have this one again. I don't know how I feel about this. This to me is kind of off the rocker. Rocksteady reportedly working on a new Suicide Squad game. This article comes from BatmanNews.com. Thanks to some.
Yeah, I don't know how trustworthy that is.
Yeah, I mean this just says thanks to some newly discovered domain name registrations, it appears that Rocksteady is about to dive into the underworld of DC with the Suicide Squad game. Fans have been anxiously waiting another DC game from the crew at Rocksteady, and it seems this one is indeed in the works. While fans have wished for another Batman title or a long-rumored Superman game, which I'm not on board with, it also it appears that the studio has something else in mind. Some new domain names were registered by Rocksteady recently, including SuicideSquadGame.com and GothamKnightsGame.com. According to Eurogamer, however, a third domain name that more likely hints at the game's plot is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. What? Why?
I don't know. Anytime I hear, because I spend a lot of my time, or I get the majority of my news on games and rumors from Reddit. Anytime I hear something about Rocksteady registering a domain name, or there was some leak on 4chan about a plot for a new Rocksteady game, for the most part, I just completely ignore it because it's almost always total bullshit. And just registering domain names doesn't necessarily mean a new game is coming out. It's just they just, in case they want to do something, they have it already registered, because some asshole could just go out there and say, they register a domain for new Batman game title there. And then God forbid Rocksteady ever wanted to make a game with that title, they'd have to buy back the domain from that person. So I don't know. A Suicide Squad game sounds so off base. I don't think most people really give that much of a shit about Suicide Squad for them to make an entire AAA game about it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like a DLC or something, or an expansion. Yeah. Maybe they were trying to tie into like a new Batman game, because obviously you have the Court of Owls rumor that's been like going around for God knows how long now. But
which could be cool.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as I said, everyone should definitely read that New 52, which is volume 1. Mm-hmm. I messed that up on the Alpha Beta Gold podcast, or on the YOLO Comics podcast.
I was going to say, you just messed that up on this podcast too now.
I said it was volume 4. It's actually volume 1 of the New 52. But, I mean, let's hypothetically say, let's take a hypothetical situation. Say they do make a Suicide Squad game. obviously you're not playing as just one character. And then, because if it was, then you're just going to either call it Deadshot or you're just going to call it Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So you're either going in two different routes, I would assume. You're either doing the Marvel Ultimate Alliance route.
Yep.
And like the X-Men Legends games, or you're doing like the new Marvel's Avengers game where you kind of have different missions playing as different people.
Different characters. Yeah.
I mean, but being that it's coming, the rumors obviously coming from Rocksteady, I don't see them making a knockoff of like a X-Men Legends Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. They'd probably fall more in the lines of the Marvel's Avengers game.
Yeah, it's so weird because I can't even picture in my head what it would look like. You've seen a couple of the characters already in the Batman games. So we've seen Harley Quinn, you've got Croc, you've got whatever other characters you'd want to throw in. But because I know
you got to throw Deadshot in there, obviously. You got to. I guess Boomerang can go in there. Katana can probably go in there.
Yeah. But I can't picture how that game would really work. It's just like you said, it's either you're playing as one character and then you're just kind of surrounded by everybody else, or you're mixing and matching characters. And I don't know, that just doesn't seem like what I would expect from Rocksteady. I mean, I don't want them to just keep making Batman games because they think that's all they can make. But I really don't know what I just don't believe it. Even I can't picture this game in my head. I can't visualize it very well.
I mean, they could do like something off the beaten path too a little bit and kind of do what, again, obviously no one's really seen much of the Avengers, Marvel Avengers game, except what they just showed the other day with that war table. But I mean, they could pull off maybe like, assuming that Avengers isn't like this, like a Dragon Age game, like an Inquisition game where you always have 4 people in your party and kind of switch between characters as you want. I mean, maybe
that could work.
Maybe you're just in, Gotham City and just running around like a chickens and doing whatever. But then you're looking at the same thing as, Batman Arkham.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, but then you got like the world would have to be so big. They would have to make Gotham City so big to have a game like that where you're roaming the streets. It's when I think of Arkham Knight or Arkham City, you don't spend so much of your time on the streets. You spend most of your time high up on the tops of buildings and shit like that. So if you're doing the Suicide Squad, you're going to have to take out the skybox, bring it in, and then make the streets much bigger, because you can't be, whenever you'd go down to the ground, like even in Arkham Knight, when you're driving around in the Batmobile, you're pretty much exclusively just staying on roads. That's it. You don't really branch off into random alleys unless there's like a Riddler trophy or something like that. So I think it would just have to be such a massive version of Gotham for them to do sort of a Dragon Age style game. I don't know. I can't picture it, man. I don't even think my brain wants to picture it. I don't want that to be a thing. Then
it's like what, you have like some sort of like a honky tonk clown car that you just throw everybody in and just drive around.
Yeah. It's like the Ninja Turtles. You're all driving around in their van. But I don't know. That's a rumor that I'll just say is most likely bullshit. I'd say the most realistic Rocksteady rumor is probably them making another Batman game, and it's after Origins, but it's before Asylum, and it all involves the Court of Owls. That would be the most realistic one to me. I think that's the safest bet on their next game. Or it's just something totally different that isn't comic book related. I don't fucking know. Rocksteady's crazy.
I still argue that, people will fight me about this. I still think that Arkham Asylum is the best one.
It is the best one. I was thinking about that actually just the other night. So then we're on the same page. Arkham City was fun, but I don't think it was perfect. They all have good stories, obviously, but Arkham City wasn't perfect to me. I liked Arkham Knight more than City, but I still think Asylum was the best. Hands down, no question. Best story, best, just because it was so crazy ahead of its time, and I think no one had expected a really good comic book game like that to come out, and then it just swept the world.
Yeah, I mean, everyone thought the game was going to suck.
I did. I thought it was going to be ass.
Yeah, I mean, hell, and that came out, I don't know, what, 2000?
I played the demo for that. I remember there was a demo for that. I'm pretty sure there was a demo, and you go and you fight Zaz. Like, it's like you're walking through that hallway and Zaz is like holding the person hostage, the doctor. And then you swoop down and kick his ass. And I was like, okay, this game might actually be really good.
Came out in 2009. I was 2 years out of high school.
I was, me too. Yeah, me too. Jesus Christ.
You know, and then obviously they have had the rumor too. Staying with Rocksteady here for a second with the Superman game, which if you want to say that you can't think of I could picture more of a Suicide Squad game before I could picture any sort of Superman game. Because how do you play that character? You can't. Oh, you're just gonna randomly discover that you can go do this. Oh, you can do that now. Oh, you can shoot lasers out of your eyes. Like what?
Well, that's no way. There's no way. They've made Superman games before, and I mean, I know they made a Superman game for Superman Returns, and it was awful. There was one thing that I liked about that game, though, because I remember playing a demo for it on 360. It was when you started to fly and you picked up speed, he like broke the sound barrier and started like zip like crazy fast. But they've done other ones. I mean, there was still the Superman 64 game, which is arguably like the most terrifying game ever made on the 64 because it was really bad. But I could see more of a Superman game, but therein lies the problem. It's like either you start the game and you have every single ability that Superman does, or it's got to be it's Superman Origins, and it's at the beginning of his like he's growing up and he's learning his powers, and then he starts to become a hero. But no one wants to play Superman when he's in high school or he's a kid.
And I feel like if you go the route of like you have everything, hey, you can do everything, or you have all the powers, yada yada yada. You got to come up with a really legit, well put together story that makes sense, because I mean, obviously that's what everybody tries to do and what every video game wants to do. And, you know, but to try to pull something off like that, where it's like, oh, here's everything. Because there was a game, and I don't remember what it was, where you start off with everything right away. I don't know what game it was. And I remember playing it and I was like, what the hell? Like, why do I have maybe it was even the beginning of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where you start off as the guy when you're in the big Spartan fight, when you're fighting all the Parisian dudes, and you have like everything unlocked. You have like the kick right in the beginning of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You do it. You have the spear. You have everything unlocked, and it's like, okay, like I have everything unlocked. Now you're going to retract me to be like this, you know,
just weak.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would work. I mean, I still think that.
I mean, can't Superman get his powers taken away with one of those colored kryptonites can kind of take powers away? So maybe you got Lex Luthor and he man makes some sort of new fucking kryptonite that is able to take away all of Superman's powers, and then he has to find out ways to restore his laser vision and ice breath and whatever.
Oh yeah, there's 4 points along the city. You got to go capture each point. Oh yeah,
you got to be. It's like Zelda. Yeah, it's like Breath of the Wild. You got to go visit the 4 corners of the world to become the Superman avatar and reclaim all 4 elements.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that. I mean, I would have loved to see Rocksteady pull the trigger and do like a Punisher game. I think that game would be fucking awesome. I don't know why no one has ever pushed that. I mean, the Punisher game for PS2, I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad by any means. It's pretty violent. I don't know. You threw some dudes in like a wood chipper every now and then, just watch them explode on the screen.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, in terms of violence and Punisher, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that.
I think that could be a really cool, you know, concept. And I think the plot could make sense. All right, here's my family. You know, they get killed. Typical Punisher bullshit. And
spoiler alert.
Yeah, I mean,
Tale of Vengeance.
I know. And then he just goes and there's like a mob boss. You have to take down maybe there's like 8 guys, and you have to take down the 8 mob bosses, main guys. Then you go after the mob boss. There you go. I wrote the script for you.
You just turned Punisher into Pokemon gym leaders. You got to visit all 8. You got to get all your 8 badges for killing all the mob bosses before you kill the big mob boss.
So I wrote it. You could take my script if you want, and it'd be really cool. Just make sure that when you like have like the base thing, I can see all the guns on the wall, and I want to see every single gun I collected. I want to be able to modify every single gun. I want like 4,000 guns.
So crazy. I'm taking, might as well just play GTA
or Border. Yeah, there's like 3 guns in that game.
Yeah.
So. Sure. And
you're not wrong.
And even Borderlands, like your whole million gun thing, it's the same damn gun. It just shoots a different bullet. So I ain't playing.
And might look slightly different.
Yeah, in that game, I got beef with you, Borderlands 3. I couldn't platinum use your stupid ass glitch.
So well, that's your problem, not mine. Because I've got a platinum trophy on that game, much like many others. I have no life.
Yeah, you got me beat. I got like 6 platinum trophies. You have like 25.
I have actually almost 60. So.
All right. Well, I'm like.
I told you I had no life. So, yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Next one, which I think is kind of cool, and you just dropped this ball on me the other day too, which I thought was even cooler, is that Cyberpunk's getting a comic, and they're also getting a TV show on Netflix.
Yes. So yeah, Netflix is partnering with, it's like a three-way partnership, or it's Netflix is putting it on their platform, and it's being produced by CD Projekt Red, and the animation is going to be done by Studio Trigger, which is crazy because they have made some really great animes, and their animation style is just so good. I feel like after that news came out, people were already excited for the game. I think people were crazy excited, even more so for the anime than the game at this point. That's going to be fucking incredible.
I mean, so, and with the comic series here, I have the article from bloodydisgusting.com. Mm-hmm. They claim, obviously Dark Horse is doing that comic series, which is really, really cool. And I guess they don't really go into detail, but I'm assuming that it's more of a prequel. I guess the comic would be more of like because it's called Dark Horse Comics is here to try and make the best of a bad situation with Cyberpunk 2077 Trauma Team, a new comic series that will arrive before Cyberpunk 2077. So this this comic's actually coming out September 9th for $3.99 at your local comic shop. Or obviously Cyberpunk's coming out November 19th. But I mean, I think that Dark Horse is I like Dark Horse. I like their comic thoughts. So I think that's a really cool adaptation. I think it's a good way to get people hyped for the game. I know when The Last of Us did their comic book series, they kind of did it after Last of Us 1 came out, I think, and then they kind of backtracked. So the fact that they're kind of giving you a little heads up into the world of Cyberpunk 2077 ahead of time is cool. I know Sideshow Collectibles, obviously, if everyone can't tell, I collect a lot of figurines and gear as well.
No, really? I had no idea.
They just showed off their line of 1/6 scale figures with the female character and the male character and the motorcycle. It's going for $700 if you want to go look at it on sideshow.com. Anyway,
Lord have mercy.
But I think with that game that I find interesting is, they're giving you a shit ton of customization. You can now apparently customize your pubic hair color, which I really don't give a fuck about.
That's hilarious. I'm sorry. I know that was big news when they said you could customize your genitals, but that's even more detail than I was expecting.
Yeah, man, I really don't care about the color that is, but like for me, I guess what's kind of interesting is that they have kind of pushed though the character of this female character, or I guess you could say, whatever type of character it is, because they're saying it. I guess
I would say yes. The character is the character. The character is. You can choose male, you can choose female, you can be non-binary. Your character can be whatever you want them to be. So just call it the Cyberpunk character.
Exactly. But they have pushed like two designs pretty heavy. Like,
that's why there's the two, like, I guess, you would call them the male. If you go into Cyberpunk and you say, you know what, I just want my character to be male and I don't want to take any time to customize them. Here's this one, or, here's the female one, or I can go crazy and have a giant bird beak nose and a giant dick, do whatever you want. But that's basically what it is. But they've pushed. The guy has been around for a while, the male character, but they reworked the female one. I know in the last couple of months to a year, they changed her around a bit. And then now they've kind of set it in stone on what she would look like. So they're pushing that real hard now.
And you even said the other day, you texted me, you're like, yo, this game looks more like GTA than GTA.
Yeah, that trailer that they, because I know they're going to keep doing more of these Night City wires over the course of the next few months just to show off more and more. And I'm going to really try to avoid watching too much because I really don't want to see too much. I want to just be as bare bones when I go into this as possible, other than just the general knowledge that I have. But that trailer, when it starts out and you just hear the monologue and you see the cityscape and the guy's like, yeah, I love this city, all the endless possibilities here. I just said, this feels like the beginning of a GTA trailer. It feels like this is GTA 6 happening. And then it just goes into being its own thing. And I know I was reading too, that with the trailer, all of what you saw in the trailer is actually just the prologue of the game. So that's just the very, very beginning part of it. They haven't even shown you anything after that. So this is all just, I guess, the first hour, 2 hours, whatever. So it's pretty cool.
And I know a couple people have gotten their hands on a demo, probably like a 4-hour-long demo, pretty lengthy. I've been seeing some people talk about it.
Then that might be the prologue that they're allowed to play then, maybe.
Yeah, I know the guy, I guess, Blessing over from Kind of Funny Games has been playing it. They posted something on YouTube before.
Oh, did they?
I didn't watch it. Again, I saw the gameplay of that. What was it, last year at E3? And they showed it, and when she's like curving the bullet and everything like that, and like she's like shooting off the walls. I'm like, all right, I've seen enough. I get it. I see what you're trying to do. It's pretty much Deus Ex meets GTA with more steroids, I guess you can kind of say. And I'm cool with that. Hopefully, again, I'm big on. I love weapons in games. I love being able to. I love having a lot of them. I love having a lot of choices. And I hope you just don't give me, because that was like, honestly, I know you were big on control. I didn't like the fact that you had one gun and you just kind of changed the mods on it. I don't know. Wasn't.
Yeah, but that wasn't a game that was about using guns, though. That was a game about weird shit going on and psychic powers, so to speak. So I don't think guns were a focal point. I don't even think that guns will be the biggest focal point of Cyberpunk either. You're going to be using your cybernetics are going to probably be a bigger aspect of that game. What do you have? You see some of the characters in there, like their arm opens up and like a blade comes out. You're going to have all these different kinds of weapons and things that you can do. I think that's going to be more customizable than your weapons. Not to say that there won't be customization, but I would rather customize who I am as a cyborg, a cybernetic person, than just have a pink gun that shoots bullets around corners, because I can do that in Borderlands. So It's not to say that I don't want cool weapons, because obviously I do, but that's not my biggest thing. I just want a really good story with that too. The world doesn't even have to be that big. I just want the story to be just top notch. And I mean, CD Projekt Red does great games, so I am expecting the story will be fun, will be entertaining.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna kind of, I know we had talked about, I'm gonna change up our topics a little bit today. Then I'm gonna briefly just go over this real quick, because I want to kind of do touch base on you said how big that open world is and story. We talked about it before. Just real quick, Mixer shutting down, Microsoft partnering with Facebook. The only thing that kind of throws me off for this is that they signed Ninja to that huge deal. I think it was like last year or 2 years ago, the hell it was, where
it's like comical,
and then they're just kind of like, all right, man, like, sorry, you're beat. So who knows what happens to him? I mean, look,
he'll crawl back to Twitch or he'll go back to something else. I mean, I was talking about this last night with a couple friends of mine, and I just think it's so funny how when Mixer came out, everybody said, yeah, fuck Twitch. We're going to go to Mixer. This is the new hot shit. This is going to be great. And we're going to make so much money. And that lasted for like 5 minutes.
That's like Facebook. It came out, you had MySpace, and Facebook came out. I was like, oh, screw that, I'm going over to Facebook. Okay, fine, go the fuck over to Facebook. Who cares? And MySpace kind of died. It's kind of the opposite here. Instead of Twitch dying and Mixer going up, Mixer, I guess it just didn't. And I get it. You're going to go and be like, hey, I'm going to go get the biggest guy in gaming right now. I'll throw him on our platform. Everyone's going to come over. Yeah, that doesn't work that way, dude. Sorry.
I mean, I'm sure I could probably watch some videos and see what the streaming community is saying, but I don't know enough about the streaming community to really comment, although I know that Mixer I heard about it and then I didn't hear about it. And then I heard about it again now because it's going away, and then I won't hear about it again. So
yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of like one of those things, I think, in the game world where it's like, all right, I get it. It's going to affect some people. To me, I'm not a streamer. I don't care about streaming. I don't watch people stream. So people want to yell at me for that, go the fuck ahead. But it's not for me. So whatever. Sorry, Mixer. I wish you the best of luck whenever else you decide to do.
Yeah, wherever you land.
Yeah. And then what did you think of real fast about the Marvel's Avengers War Table?
I haven't been so unsure of a game in probably 5 years. Yeah, good. I have not been so unsure of a game in like 5 years, because every time I see the game, I think it's a really cool concept. I love these characters, and I want to play a game that's like this. But then I see the customization and the different kinds of things you can do in the game, and I say, I'm really not sold on this. This is going to be a game where, as much as I'm going to get hit with hype train feelings right when it comes out, I'm going to have to wait for reviews. I'm going to need to see what people say. I'm going to have to watch tons and tons of non-sponsored reviews and read Metacritic and just really find out how good this game is. If it comes out and it's critically acclaimed, I'll get it. But if it's not, I'll pick it up on a sale and play it some other time.
It's like, dude, I kind of feel like this is going to be like another Anthem thing. Hyped up.
No, I hope not. Dude, no, Anthem.
I'm saying it right now, and everyone can talk, yell at me all you want, but that's my guess, is that this could end up being like another Anthem thing. I mean, I don't want to get too much into details. If you want to go find out the plot of the game, go the hell and watch their War Table thing. I mean, the only kind of stuff that I kind of pulled from it is the Thor gameplay that they showed about probably like 10 minutes of.
Yeah, it was like 8 minutes.
I mean, he was fighting the same robot, it felt like, for like 25 minutes, and here you are being Thor, and you can't get past like I don't know. It didn't look very appealing to me. I thought it was weird too that, you know, the 5 characters they hype so much on Captain America, obviously in a non-spoiler way, because it's not a spoiler. He's supposed to be dead. In the gameplay takes place 5 days after 5 years after A-Day, I think they were saying.
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, I don't know. He's obviously not dead. Obviously, he's going to show up at us somewhere. The 5 characters you get to play as, like Kamala Khan, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Hulk, and obviously assuming it's Captain.
And those are just the early characters, though. Those are just the current characters, because I know they've announced other ones. I know Hawkeye's going to be in it. Ant-Man is in it.
I can get behind the Hawkeye thing. I think that would be kind of a cool character to play as the upgrade. But you know, one of the, you know, the 2 things too that I take out of it that kind of gets me most worried about is, obviously, to me, I thought Thor's character should have played more like, again, I haven't played it yet, but from what I saw, I was expecting it to play more like Kratos, and I didn't get that vibe at all from it. The whole Warzone thing kind of just looks like their version of raids in Destiny. I mean, you pretty much get a group of 4 people got to do this huge thing, which I don't understand what the hell the difference is between the Warzone and the co-op missions. They didn't really explain that, which I thought was kind of an interesting thing to say, or to not really go into full detail about. They just kind of brushed over it, I felt, pretty quickly. But, you know, as for like Iron Man, okay, leveling up him, I get it, makes sense. You know, leveling up Black Widow, okay, fine, makes sense. But, you know, I got a different outfit in Thor, and now I can do something else. And who knows, like, what happens to the point when you have to go ahead and you have to play a mission and you have to play it as Black Widow? And what if she's an awful character to play as? What if she's boring? What if her doesn't click with you? Now I can't beat the game because I have to grind through this other character just to get to the main story.
That's how they want to tell a story. That's how it is. I mean, you can't, I guess, I mean, that's tough. That's a tough one, because I would say part of me says you can't get all up in your ass about that, because it's part of the game. It's part of the story that they're trying to tell. And, you know, if they just wanted you to play as one character, then you would just be playing as that one character. They would have to say, you know, no, you're going to play as just Tony Stark the whole time, and everybody else is just a background character. And then but it wouldn't be an Avengers game. It would be an Iron Man game. You know, if it's an Avengers game, you got to play as other characters. You have to experience the full scope.
But that kind of goes to what I think I said last week, where like when games make you play the game the way they expect it. And I get that. I think it's a good way to lead into the future topic of the day, which is linear versus non-linear storytelling. You know, games like Far Cry New Dawn, I wanted to play the game for the longest time. I got it. I got to the end. I didn't do everything they wanted me to do. I was at the main boss, and they're like, yeah, you're not high enough at a level to be here, so you have to go do this. And like, well, I'm 3 levels behind just to get to the gold weapons. Now you expect me to do that. So I backed out. I rage quit that game. I was like, fuck this. I'm not even going to, I beat it. There's my thing. I beat the game, even though I didn't beat the final boss. But, you know, when it comes to games like Cyberpunk 2077, when you get a game like, you know, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which are these huge, broad, open world games that can go on for hours and hours and hours. And then you have games that are like Last of Us Part 1, Last of Us Part 2, Uncharted, you know, even I'm going to go back to saying Spec Ops: The Line, because if you haven't played that game, I highly recommend you playing that. I love that game. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great game. But I feel like sometimes this is my you know, my opinion, and opinions are for assholes. Open world games, I feel, can definitely. I have ADD as it is. Anyway, I get sidetracked.
I know.
Yeah. So it's like, that's why I need the linear storytelling. Tell me the story that you want me to tell. And I think it's done better than open world storytelling. There it is. I said it.
I think that choice between open world and linear really is. It's just, for me, it's how am I feeling? I like both of these kinds of style games, but it really all depends on how I'm feeling. You know, take the 2 games that I'm playing right now. You got Ease and you've got The Last of Us. Last of Us is largely linear. That is, there's little bits of exploration within the areas that you can have, but it's not an open world. I'm not just walking around all of Wyoming, in Seattle. I can go, I can follow, go to this area, do this, next area, do that, and so on. Whereas with Ease, there's a world to go visit. There's shit to collect. There's, trying to get a platinum trophy. I got to find all the items in the game. I have to get one of every single thing. So I've got to go to all these different places and visit this big open world. I don't know. I liked growing up, I think when we were kids, the concept of an open world game was a big deal. And I think that, I think GTA kind of pushed the envelope on that. We had GTA 3 was an open world because you had a city. It was probably the biggest game I had ever seen at the time. And they upped it with Vice City, and then they went to San Andreas, which was fucking like ridiculous. I know you hate that game. That's not the point. But I'm just saying there's the amount, the space that game, in terms of the world was massive compared to it. And they just keep getting bigger. And that was cool. It was a novel concept and it was fun because you had so much shit to do. But I think now games that do open world are getting way too fucking big. They're way too open. Yep. Like so big that it's like, okay, you need to start taking steps back. And I've even heard other podcasts with developers and even read articles where they're saying, we got to start kind of reeling it back in a little bit on how big we're making these games, because it's going to get to a point where people are just going to keep making them bigger and bigger and bigger. And most people are not even going to ever explore half of it because it's just going to be too much. It leaves too much to do.
And I think you just something to think about too. Like you have a game like Days Gone, which that game could have dropped like half of its bullshit in that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huge. And the thing where that game was like, it wasn't even that big. It was just
it's a lot of driving. Yeah, it's just a lot of driving in fucking the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and like for a story like that story to me, like it ended on a note, and I think I even texted you like, didn't see that coming, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
I warned you. Yeah, no, do not say that one. But I warned you about that. I was like, dude, you got to. There's like one more thing you have to do after you finish that last mission. You got to like fart around a little bit on your motorcycle, and then you're going to get a call, and you got to do that. It's going to be the weirdest thing ever, but. Yeah, no, that game really could have been significantly shorter, and it took way too long.
And I remember
so long.
I remember texting you and be like, "Yo, I'm here. Where am I?" You're like, "Just shut up and play." You're not even close.
Dude, those texts are the best. Yeah, you're like, hey, you're like, yeah, you know what? I gotta be pretty close to the end at this point. Like, this is where I'm at, dude. There's probably I've got like 3 hours left, and I'm like, you've got maybe 20 left. You have like 25 hours left of that game. You're not even remotely close. You're not even out of the first like sub region of that game.
And like for me, when you have such big open world and you have all these side quests going on, and sometimes you could easily say that I would say with open world games with the side quests, those side quests are like those bullshit fetch quests and the bullshit like, go tackle this tower and clear this. Like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to tell me a side story, tell me something that's going to affect the actual story. And I think sometimes linear games do this really well, I think. And I'm not somebody that does collectibles. Like I said, I don't read all the notes. I'll collect a note. I don't fucking read it because I read comic books and pictures. But I think what linear does really well is if you decide to get the full story is when you pick up the article of paper or the note or whatever the hell it is you have to read, it tells kind of the side quest story without doing the side quest. And it actually moves the story along. When sometimes you play side quests and it's just like, yo, my daughter just got ate by a chicken. Go kill the chicken. It's like, dude, why do I care about your daughter? Unless that character's going to show up later and I'm going to be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I care about you now. Half the time, I don't care about the side shit.
I think that's part of why I loved The Witcher 3 as much as I did, because that game, I feel like is it's an open world game. For the most part, is a very, very open world, very, very big. Then you have the mainland, and then of course later on in the game you get to go to Skellige, and then you're in islands that are massive and tons of stuff going on. That game has plenty of side missions in it, but you do have your standard, hey, go all the way to the other side of the map, get me this thing, and then come all the way back and you do your fetch quest, or you just go and someone says, my daughter's been taken by these bandits and will be killed if you don't go save her. Go kill those bandits and bring my daughter back. But then they also have plenty of missions like, that kind of, oh, thank you for saving my daughter. Something can happen in the future, in future missions and parts of the story that are affected by that side mission. So that's why I really like The Witcher, because you can do side missions and there can be an effect. Some of them are self-contained, but some of them you'll do them and it will have an effect later on. You will have a character that will help, come to you during a big battle, and they are present in the battle, which, helps your chances of winning, something like that. But that's why I loved The Witcher as much as I did, because even though it was open world and there was so much shit to do, I never felt really bored by doing any of the missions.
And Red Dead 2, as much as I didn't really approve of that game as much as I wish I did, like some of their side quests obviously affected the main plot in subtle ways, like people would say something and yada, yada, yada. But, I feel like when it comes to a storytelling as well, like one of the big gripes that I had with, I guess, Red Dead 2 was, spoiler, when they kill Lenny, it's just like, it's like in and out. You're just like, wait, he's dead? Like, you're not even going to give me like some cool cinematic thing. You gave me a bigger cinematic death about my horse dying that I had with me the whole time than this character that you make me care so much about. But if you live with linear games, when the character's going to die in a linear game, they're going to die. And, they're going to show it. They're going to emphasize it when sometimes with open world, you can get a little lost, I think, and you can kind of get yourself not. And sometimes with open world as well, what I was trying to, I guess, say is that, you start in one island, you're moving the story along, and then you get stuck and try and do all the side shit, collect everything, get this weapon, get that. Now I'm on this island for 20 hours and I get to the next main story mission. I'm like, what is this person talking about?
Yeah. You've missed it all.
You're so, because you've done so much other stuff. And I'm not, because I think what, again, we could argue, we could say that this is not a spoiler, I would say. But like in Naughty Dog's,
be careful.
Hold on. I'm talking about,
careful.
I'm talking about Uncharted.
Uncharted. You should still be careful though.
No, I'm talking about Lost Legacy.
Okay.
It's kind of open world in a weird way.
Kind of.
There you go.
Kind of, but not really.
I wasn't going to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But they did that open world in like a small confinement, and they do the same thing in Last of Us at one point, where you're just kind of like, okay, here's this little area, and you could probably hang out in it for like five hours if you want and do everything, or you just beeline to the next plot point and you're okay with it. And to me, that's kind of cool. I mean, I was on board with that. I thought that was well done. I like that little kind of environment thing, and even GTA 5, like to me, that was obviously in one city, maybe you could say one city, and then other parts of the New York, which pretty much say that's what it was. Wasn't it New York, or was that LA?
GTA 5 was LA basically, or it was like LA and then parts of like California. Because it's like, it's weird. That's why I love GTA games, because you look at the map of GTA 5 and you say their version of LA is just an island that's completely, it's dead in the middle of the water, it's completely surrounded, but it covers Los Angeles, and you go all the way up to Northern California, like Sequoia Forest or whatever. Like,
and
it's weird.
What's interesting about GTA games, again, that always blows my mind, is that like, okay, you know where you are, you know what you're trying to do. GTA 4 takes place in New York City. There's like the Liberty statue, they call it, but with
Statue of Happiness, it was called.
Is that what it was called? I forget.
The Statue of Happiness. I think that's what it was called. There was a beating heart inside of it too. That was one of their little Easter eggs. You can get inside of the statue. There's a giant heart hanging in there.
Really, I missed that part.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to go back and play it. But
no, don't do that.
But then you have Watch Dogs 2, which I think they straight up tell you like, yo, you're in San Francisco.
You are. No, it is. It's San Francisco, but I would say it's San Francisco light, because there's a lot of landmarks, but then they just made up a lot of shit in it, But it is, they straight up say, yes, no, you're 100% in San Francisco in that game, and then in the first one you're in Chicago.
In GTA 3?
No, in Watch Dogs 1 you're in Chicago.
I was like, what? Okay, yeah. Well, Watch Dogs 1 was that looked cool on paper. And then it came out. Then it came out, and it was like, what? This kind of missed
didn't work out very
mark. It definitely did. So, but hopefully, hopefully with Ghost coming out soon, hopefully, and even Cyberpunk in November. I mean, pretty much the next two big games are, you can say, open world, and there's really no linear storytelling anytime soon. I don't really think, unless they spring out something weird. I mean, they didn't put a release date on Resident Evil Village, but you can assume that that's not this year.
That is definitely not this year. If that was this year, that would be the biggest, most unexpected curveball of an announcement. That, in fact, that would be announcing holiday 2020. I don't think that's the case, though. That will, of course, be like whack linear. That's point A to point B. There's probably not going to be any wandering, unless they maybe let you walk around the village a little bit. But I don't think it's going to be anything dramatic. You'll backtrack to some areas and stuff, but it'll be just straight down the line.
Beeline to the end. So, but that pretty much does it for our show today. Once again, one last time. This is Why Am I Nerd presents Alpha Beta Gold, where you can follow us on Instagram at Why Am I Nerd Official, Facebook.com/Why Am I Nerd, and listen to new issues every Tuesday in your favorite podcast service, or catch new episodes every Monday at 12 p.m. on YouTube.com/a bunch of weird ass symbols. Because once again, we're still looking for that verification, and we're unfortunately quite a bit ways, but that's okay because we have fun doing this anyway. And if you hopefully enjoy listening to us, if you don't listening to us tangent about shit, then yeah, we're cool with that.
That's cool. So, yeah, that's fine. You don't have to listen to me. I don't like listening to me. I mean, I don't like hearing my own voice, so I don't blame you.
I don't think anyone likes hearing an old voice. Trust me.
Nope.
But once again, I'm Camryn James. This is Just Matt. Until next time, we're out.
Bye.